What's going on, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm back to give you another Spy Family episode review. This is season 3, episode 45. It's entitled Take Down the Busjacker. So before we go ahead and take down this episode, and it's a good episode to take down, I'm going to need you to take down that like button. That's right. I'm going to need you to hit it. I'm going to need you to subscribe. I'm going to need you to hit the notification bell. Share this video. Visit the Patreon that's down in the description link below right there. And that graciously helped me out. Thank you so much. So, this is the perfect ending for the whole bus jacking incident. Just perfect. Now, we do have what I like to call an epilogue coming next week, and I'm looking forward to that one because I want to see how they animate this panel. And I don't read the manga, but I've seen the panels from the manga, and I cannot wait to see how they animate this. But perfect conclusion. And so Wicked for good this past, for this weekend, and this episode made me teary more than that because this is good, especially since it is a huge instance of art imitating life. So I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna talk about some things that are going on in the world. If you don't like it, you can tap out now, but this episode is really, really good. One of the things I really appreciate about this whole, I guess, arc, if you want to call it that, starting from, I guess, that second part of episode 43 all the way down to this one. I feel like this is like 3 or 4 episodes, right? All the way down here, the slow turn of going from the Red Circus as this crazy extreme leftist, and I read to you guys, I read the definition of leftist extremist group. I told you statistically what groups are typically extremists. It's mostly right-wing extremist groups. When you think of left-leaning groups, it's a lot less violence. But when you think about like eco-terrorism and things like that, this is not eco-terrorism. This is wanting, if I can remember correctly, it's equality and it's something else. Equality and freedom. And who doesn't like freedom? Legitimately, like, it's crazy we live in a world when it's like everyone deserves to be able to learn and everyone deserves health care, and people go, that's evil. Stupid. So stupid. So I love how it's that slow turn, and I've never really liked I don't know, what do we call them? State security, sometimes the secret police. That's what I've seen them called so many times in like season 1 and core 2 of season 1. So many times they've been called secret police. So I end up writing my notes state secret police, even though they know them. So state security, whatever the hell you want to call these folks. I told you last episode. Yeah, it's very obvious these dudes are assholes, especially the dude that's supposed to be in charge, because he got the crazy eyes. And from the beginning, the main guy, Billy, I almost call him Beery. Billy, he had sad eyes. Not less. You can always kind of tell when someone's going to be like a focal point of episode based on how their eyes look. Like if they have some unique looking eyes, you're probably going to be a focal point. But yeah, that turn of just going, oh, the Red Circus doesn't suck. I mean, they've done messed up stuff. You cannot excuse that. It is very reminiscent of things that happened 2 years ago in October. Just gonna put that out there. It really makes you think about this whole tensions with Ostenia and Westalius. It seems like Ostenia sucks, like absolutely sucks ass. It sucks for their people. And just the pushing of that war makes me, again, I got to double back around the Wicked, makes me think that someone who was in that government said, well, if we have a common enemy, the people will forget that we're dicks to them and will just go ahead and just focus on those evil people from the West who they obviously can never relate to, right? Even though people live on both sides and have families. Crazy. So the big thing here is Billy's daughter, Biddy. We get a moment where Henderson, is asking him like, hey man, you got a kid? Yeah, I had to have a daughter. And he's like, well, just let the kids go. He's like, the government killed my daughter. I'm not letting them off the hook easy. As a matter of fact, I got some photos here. As a matter of fact, I like this shot. This is where he's explaining the Red Circus, what they initially were. And he's saying, because Mr. Henderson, they swapped out Mr. Henderson, or should I say swapped out Mr. Austin, the teacher that was on the bus that seemed like he seemed really hurt. They need to get him to a doctor. Him and Mr. Henderson, because Henderson, that one, you could tell that this dude is not evil, because he's looking at all the kids like, they need to eat and they need water. They've been here all day. Poor Anya, everyone's thinking so hard in their own heads. Again, that is the one downfall of her power, that if too many thoughts are in her head, she's gonna, conk out. But, before, and I'm explaining it like this, before, he's like, bring food, but no police. We got some funny moments. I got to double back around to some of these funny moments, but he's explaining to Mr. Henderson, since you're a teacher, you would know the Red Circus started out as a student movement advocating for freedom and equality. And there it was. That's what I was waiting for. This art is imitating life so hard. They were raising their voices for the weakest members of society. And they were a respectful movement that had used respectful means to protest. And I didn't take a picture of this, but there's so much police brutality going on that screen, like, shadowy figures, obviously, but the government suppressed them with violence. That happens today. We've seen people, they're doing a protest for these, I don't even want to call the group by name on my damn videos, but the assholes that are kidnapping people, right? We have seen peaceful protests. We've seen literal pastors, fathers from the Catholic Church, teachers, old people, like, they pepper spray these people, beat these people up because they're protesting, right? One of the older people, I think the man was 65 or 70, he was supposed to run a marathon. They broke his ribs. He can't run this year. Art is imitating life so hard. And remember, this was written before any of this. So Tatsuya he either did really good research or he has an eye for what goes on in the world. He thinks that some things like that happen in Japan. If you live in Japan, please inform me if some things like that happen, right? But he's not going to let the government say anything about what he's doing. He's not going to take any of their criticism. And we get a flashback where, him and Biddy are fighting. He's telling her, yo, you gotta be careful hanging out with these shady types. Red Circus not shady, but, a couple people were arrested. She's like, we didn't do anything. And he's saying, look, you need to be careful because they want to crack down on protests. They are desperate to do it. Seems very familiar, doesn't it? Not just here, but other places that are stealing people's lands. So trying to cut down on these protests by any means necessary. And he's a father. He can feel it. And from what I gather, and I love when they do not explicitly say it, but you can tell Biddy's mother, his wife, died a while ago. You can also tell that he was also part of the military. I will bring up those pictures as well. So it's a swirl here, right? The only person he had left in his life is gone. On top of he served the country, and that same government, that same country got rid of her. But he's asking her to stop. And, Biddy says she's more afraid to live in a world where you can't say anything is wrong when something is wrong. And, there's so many people suffering now because the government is being negligent. And, he's telling her, you're a kid, right? You're a child. The world isn't just that simple. But it really is, though. But this is a parent desperately reaching out to the kid, telling them not to do this. And she's like, you know what? If you're going to say that, then you're my enemy, too, and you're evil. And he's like, so I'm evil because I'm worried about my family? And she stops for a minute. And I wish she would have tried to reconcile that, because it was so fast coming off of that commercial break to just immediately go from that to seeing her body. Right? And she looks just... the heartbreak that's on his face. And one of the guys from the Red Circus was actually controlling the other bus, they really flumbled that one over there. But he was there and he said, it took a lot just to get our body back. The government's going to be paying attention to you, so, you might want to leave the country, man. And Red Circus, we're going to take care of all that. And that's where this comes from. The government, evil. I'm questioning if the garden that, Yor works for, are they all in with what this government is doing, or are they actually pruning the people who are doing shit like that? It would lead for some really good tension. Like, I would love for whenever it's time for this series to go off in the sunset, for Yor to start questioning, wait, why are we doing this? Like, she never questioned it before, but now she's questioning, why are we doing this? And they get wind of it and they find out, oh, okay, he's a spy. They set up a mission, Mr. and Mrs. Smith style, the first movie with the white folks and Brad Jelena, and have them fight, and they go, oh shit. And they have feelings for each other and they got to figure this out. Hopefully they don't anime this and bungle it and they both just get stubborn and then they both have to hear the results for themselves instead of just talking. That is one of the things that was fun about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They fought, but then they really loved each other and they fought afterwards and figured it out. I digress. I wonder, right? And so, just the juxtaposition. You can love your country. That's the thing. That was the thing I liked in Wicked. Like, you can love where you're from, where you live, but it's not the dirt. It's not even loving the government. It's loving what it can stand for. And just like with Frankie, these people are trying their best to stop all of the injustices that they saw within their country. Ostinia seems pretty fucked up. And what's crazy about it is, you got to think about it, especially with that episode with Loid and his dad. It's very obvious that the government and people in suits who never fight a day in their life, or maybe they have fought and they're just mean and emboldened because of the constant loop of fighting and evil, they're pushing it. But there are people in that country who are basically good, who don't care about any of the conflict. They just want to live. Very, very interesting to me. And they drove these people to the extreme, right? You took, hold on. Matter of fact, let me find that picture. Because this is when Billy was having a bit of a flashback, talking about his daughter. I will bring that up in a second because we're about to talk about Anya. But here, this is, it is assumption. You can assume, because she has her father's eyes. You can assume she died a long time ago. There's no way that they got divorced. He seemed like getting ahead of myself there. Seemed like a decent guy, right? But look, she looked like her damn daddy. Like, that's got his same green eyes, has his same look. It's and Anya is the GOAT. So essentially, after they got Yuri's people with Yuri in tow, they rescued the other hostages, the other bus. It's pretty messed up. They killed 2 people just flat out. Dude got shot in the head. They're so damn hungry for murder. It is insane. But got rid of those folks, and the tide was about to change because Evil Eyes McFucknut here, just ready, right? He tells him about that. The police chief who's trying to do things. Police chief, I'm gonna call him Ostinian Carl Winslow, White Cars Winslow, because he's just trying to not have any hostages hurt and trying to get through all this. And this guy tells him, he's like, yeah, all your people are dead. They're not all dead, but all your people are dead. I'm gonna give you to sunrise. And he's not gonna give them to sunrise. He's got his folks getting ready to go in there. And here's this jackass right here, big old jackass, just telling the cop, we're going to strike them on cover at night. They're not going to give in. Now, here's the crazy part. Anya read Billy's mind. So she knows, okay, That's where he comes from. That's what's going on. Anya's so crazy because she's emotionally intelligent. Crazy, right? Then she reads the minds of people gonna kill them all. She's like, oh. Then we find out that Billy, once he hears that, he's like, we might have to actually give in here. Now the girl's like, no, we can't give up. And then guy Vadim, the bus driver, he's like, no, man, you can't do that. What about your daughter? What about Biddy? I can't believe her name is Biddy. What about Biddy? And so he's like, man, I can't count on him. He has a bomb in a suitcase. It's like, I'm gonna blow up this shit with the hostages and everybody in it. And so Anya knows there's people about to come in, knows if he sees them, he's gonna blow them all up anyway. She's got to figure this out. And so she starts walking forward. The goat here. This is how a goat looks, y'all. That's the goat. And the guy's like, oh, are you still hungry? Like, you got to use the bathroom. And so Anya goes, I'm hungry. Give me some food. And what I love is that when Henderson first comes with the food and everything, because he's like, oh, those are probably the bombs on those two students. Oh, you fiends. Bro, Anya knows that these bombs are fake. So she's eating the food just happily being adorable. And Henderson like, bro, she got nerves of steel. Hey, you better focus. She has nerves of steel. And he remembers Anya going at their introduction. She wants her abilities are dancing with death over and over to get brave. That's what she wants to do. And so Becky recognizes, I'm going in a little bit depth. She recognizes the rations come from her dad. I'm gonna show you some funny parts there. She's like, oh, they're probably here. And he's like, oh, your family that dominates the world is here. She's like, well, we don't dominate, but we're pretty strong. And all of these things are light, right? Because you have the students. I'm just gonna skip to the next picture. You have the students all talking about, the rations, like Damien and Bucktooth and Conehead, like, these things suck, they're nasty. And Kid Billy, it's like, shut up, fool, be happy. And she's like, yeah, don't talk about my family stuff. They're neither bad nor good, because that's what rations are. They're just there to make you be full. And Henderson's like, did y'all actually need me? Because y'all are pretty calm here. So when Anya does this move, and everyone is like shook, because she's talking about food, right? And Henderson here is like, no, she doesn't have nerves of steel. She has nerves of tungsten. Now, I don't know what tungsten is. I forgot that he said that. So let's look this up right now. Because you all know, it might be a German thing. What is tungsten? I don't know. Tungsten is a strong silvery white metal with the symbol W and atomic number 74. It's prized for its high melting point and resistance to water and to heat and wear. Oh, it's a chemical element. Oh, he's saying that she's super tough. Her nerves are resistant to all of this, and they are if you can read the minds of people, you're not going to fear that much, right? But and everybody was shook. And hold on. I'm showing it out of order, but Becky and Damien like, what the fuck? And hold on. And these two here like, this girl did not just bravely walk up to bus snapper people with guns and say, you hungry? And the guy's like, hey kid, I told you if you try anything dumb, I'm going to blow your head off. And Anya says, Anya is much more scared of dying without saying anything. And that instantly reminds Billy of Biddy, to the point where he sees Biddy behind Anya. He sees her. I don't want to say her ghost, but he sees her. And Anya's so good. She's playing 4D chess here, baby. She's playing 4D chess. Because he sees her and he sees the words. He takes off the collar, just gets rid of the ruse, and tells her, get off the damn bus. You're free to go. And Anya's reading his mind. He's like, I can't function while she's here. It's going to weaken my resolve. And Anya goes, the bag, I can't do anything while Anya's here, right? So Anya's like, no, I'm hungry. I don't want to get off this bus. And so you got Henderson, Billy, and Vita are like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? And, Billy is of the mind that these kids are just overly privileged. Like, Bucktooth was all upset he has to pee in the bushes. And he's like, you should really thank your parents for your privilege. Like, be thankful for them. I'm pretty sure that dumbass Damien Buttkisser probably didn't even get it, right? But he's like, you kids only care about yourselves. Why are you not leaving? And he's remembering Damien standing up for her. He's thinking of Bucktooth saying, well, he's not going to run away because he doesn't want Damien to get hurt. And so he's like, did I have the wrong idea about them? Are they not being fed at home? Because Anya's been pressing about food the entire time. He's like, has the country really been that messed up since I've been gone out of the country for this long? And so he thinks Epstein was suffering while he's hiding out, right? And he's like, why are you so like determined on getting everybody food? And I love Anya. Anya may not be book smart, but she is so fast on her feet when coming up with this shit. And that comes from trying to survive as an orphan. She is like a 4 or 5 year old pretending to be 7 or 8. Amazing. So she says she thinks of Bondman from the anime. She thinks of Damien and his dumbass daddy. Interesting that the Damien family, they have weird drawn face. When she thinks of her mom, proper face. Thinks of Bondman, proper face. When she thinks of her dad, angry face, but proper face. And she goes with what he would say. And she says to create a world where children don't cry. And he's like, that's so noble. But Henry Henderson and Bucktooth and Damon both thinking like, but you're a child yourself. So bus driver's over this shit. Vadim is over this. And he's like, he's arguing now because of how they do subtitles here, which is very messy and very shitty. There's a lot of overlay and I'm trying to pay attention to it. But you got Billy thinking to himself, I've gone about this all wrong. Did I look down on them? And by looking down on them, I created an inequality. And it's like, he's understanding, because first of all, you are assuming they're all privileged, because Anya's not privileged. There's a couple of students that are accepted into Eden College through just merit and not money. Well, through a lottery, through a lottery, and not just, merit or who your parents are or how privileged you are. There are people like Anya. She had to work hard to get in there. They had to do a little bit cheating, but they worked hard to get in there, and she got in there. And the other guy's like, did you forget about what they did to your kid? I love that Henderson's arms are tied. He still gets in front of Anya so she don't get hit by this, because dude pointed a gun at her. And he's thinking back, and these are the pictures I have here that you might have seen a little bit of, right? Where she shows up and her face is all scratched up. And he's like, what's going, what the heck happened? And so she's trying to feed stray cats. But the problem is stray kittens. But the problem is the bigger cats keep taking all the food. So she holds the bigger cats back so that the little ones can eat. And he's like, but survival of the fittest is how it works with animals. And she's like, I know I'm being meddlesome, but I can't stand to see anyone crying and hurt. And then he's like, wait a damn minute, you took food from the pantry. He's like, you raised me like this, Dad. First thing he says, be a giver, not a taker. Don't hold each other down, help each other up, which is what you saw with the picture. And because you taught me this way, taught her to be that way, she's proud of who she is. And he's like, I didn't forget. And I love the juxtaposition, because her back is turned and then it's a bright light showing that she passed on. And he's reaching for her. He's like, he didn't forget. Or he had forgotten, but no, he didn't want his rage or his reason to live to wither away. Because once he died, he probably just didn't want to go on. But his reason was to get revenge, to fight them, to do all this shit to these people. And he pretended to forget. And Anya can read. I love the subtle hints where sometimes they don't do the sound effect of Anya reading the mind, but you can see the sparkles. So dude grabs the gun from Vidam, grabs where the bomb is, grabs all his stuff, opens up, gets off. These guys are ready to attack. Jumps off the bus, drops both guns, all his stuff. And he's saying that he can't let his daughter die a second time. and probably thinking about Anya, right? Looking like, I think it's going like he doesn't want Anya to get hurt, but at the same time, that memory, that moral is in her, is in all of them, trying to do the right thing. And, he wants to still remain as her father and not as the rageful person he is right now. So flat out just says, I surrender. And what's crazy is that all of them are like, wait, why though? Like, why are you giving up? Like, he doesn't tell them anything. I love Anya's face there. And the Copperoos, this asshole, White Winslow, they're both stunned because that guy's like, there's no way they're giving up. And he tries to say, hey, I made the other two do it. I threatened them. They had nothing to do with this. Mavadam is such a piece of shit. He's like, he tries to drive this bus that I thought the wheels were blown up on. And he rams a couple cars, and then they get the armored vehicles in, and that pretty much stops him. Grabs Anya, starts waving her, using her as a shield. And when you think it's not Yor that saves her, it's Martha. And I had to take a picture of this because this was really, really well done effects with she shot him with a taser. And then caught Anya. This is her jumping off of one of those soldiers' heads because the government are jackasses. Like the dude, the weirdo with the eyes and the glasses, policeman's like, don't have them shoot. The kid might get hit. And he's like, I don't care. Shoot him anyway. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to jump on your head so you don't shoot her. And this is probably the first time Anya learns Martha's full name. I didn't know her full name. Her name's Martha Marriott. And that's a good ending. I like that. I like this ending. Well, I'll tell you the full ending. I'm saving that because I got to tell you about everybody else. But yeah. So the happenings, you got Henry shows up. Apparently him and Martha know each other. I don't know if it's just because of the black bells or if they were friends. It seems like most of the old people here were young people together. But he's there to check on the students. You got Papa Black Bell shows up with Martha because he wants to, protect his baby. She's trying to hold him back and like, hey, don't get in the way, man. And then then the cops. I love how he just stiff arms them. Right. Becky's also just like him. And this little beetle looking kid here with the bangs over the eyes, she's adorable, checking on Sensei. Sensei, you good? No, Sensei pretty messed up, dog. But Henry's there to check on the kids. Martha's there because they're there for Becky, obviously. Yuri did the takedown, got shot in the arm by the guy who was in the flashback of Billy's, doing, oh, you're going to hide behind kids. I'm like, this is the first time I'm actually upset to see you take down somebody. I'm kind of upset about that. I wish you didn't because you don't realize you're working for the bad guys. Like, your people suck ass. He's bitching about being shot. And narrator goes, hold on, I got to find this. I have to find where the narrator said and read it verbatim. Mr. Narrator says, when a man's motivation is low, his threshold for pain is lower. So like he's howling like a punk ass because he got shot. And he's mad because he's like, I'm doing all this for that dumb girl, Anya, right? Then Yor may be down on herself, but I like the fact that when Anya didn't show up, she called the school like, hey, Anya Forger, my daughter is not here. And of course the school is still lying. So they're going, oh yeah, no, the field trip's running long. She's like, okay. Sits down, then goes, wait a minute. She calls Sharon. She's like, yeah, no, my son showed up back up. They canceled the field trip. And that's when hold on, I gotta get the mama face. Where's the mama face at? I know I took a picture of the mama face. No, I thought I took a picture of it. If I did, it probably didn't get sent from there it is. This is where yours like, oh hell no. That's why I thought yours showed up to slice up that dude. But no, it was Martha Marriott, using the new Black Bell stun gun, right? Black Bell taser. And who else? Because I have a list of people who were doing things. Nope, that was all them, right? I do the cutest thing to end on is, Becky was worried about her best friend. This is adorable. Rub cheek to cheek with her friend, and she's like, "Thank goodness, that's adorable." I don't care who you are. If you can't get down with that adorableness, something wrong with your heart. And the news finally breaks, talking about everything that's going on because they held it off, which is also a real life thing. A lot of times they don't put things out there because you don't want the bad guys to know that you are onto them. You want to keep things low, and you want to cause as least amount of hysteria as possible. Just like the jackass evil secret police want to say minimal casualties, though. They just want to kill anybody. They're ready for that. Much like most cabs. Anyway. This was a great episode. Very emotional. Good job, Anya. Next episode is actually called Anya's Era Has Come. They getting stars. I took a picture of it already. I'm going to save this because I don't want y'all to see it right now. You probably saw it if you watched the episode. But this is great episode. This is a 5 out of 5. Like when the ending theme song came on, that song Actors, that's more aligned with Loid's backstory. It falls right in with this. You got to really find a translation, put it on closed caption when you watch the official lyrics. I think I have that in the description, the official video, because just the lyrics match the whole vibe of this entire season. This was so good. Amazing. So 5 out of 5 from me. Let me know what you think. I know I ran long. I know I didn't do it in order, because if you haven't seen this and you're waiting to hear what I think, go watch it right now. Matter of fact, go watch all. We just gonna do this live. I'm pretty sure it's 4 episodes. It's 3 episodes. Watch all 3 episodes live, and then watch next week's epilogue. Next week is definitely the epilogue, because I can't wait to see Damien's mom show up. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this. Hit up my Patreon. It's right there in the description as well. I appreciate whatever you guys choose to donate. Sincerely. Please be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. There's too many jackasses in the world today. All right. And if you find yourself feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling out, feeling sad about everything that's going on, please reach out to someone. Talk to someone today talk to someone who would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. There are people who would rather carry the load with you than to be saddened that you are gone. I promise you that. You want to talk to me? My social media is in the description below. Go ahead and give me a follow. Say hello. Be mellow. And we be good to go, y'all. We will be good to go. Great episode. I might just go back and watch all these again. The way that they are able to juggle seriousness and comedy and tension. I felt tension this whole way through, and there was nobody there to do kung fu kicks. Yuri was able to do the police shit, whatever, but there was no Loid stuff. There was no Yor stuff. This is Anya having to think fast on her feet and keep going with the information that she is gathering. Love it. Man, if there's a sequel to this, she better be a grown-up spy that works with Neo-Wise or something. Sincerely. Anyhow, guys, I'll see you next time, giving you a heartfelt waku waku.